Hi, I'm Ray. Welcome to Weights Lifted. I just got off work. I mentioned in my video earlier today stuff about diet, and I said I was going to hold off. And so now I figure why not? Why not make another video and talk a little bit about diet? I've made a couple already, but this morning I was thinking about it. A lot of people, I think. I don't know. You see them online, and then they try to. I think they overcomplicate it a lot, talking about different things and trying to make it sound harder than it is. And it is hard. Sticking to a diet's not easy. Um, it's simple, but it's not easy. So, what I mean by that is, for the most part, if you eat less calories than you burn, you will lose weight. That's like the simplest thing of it. That's as simple as it gets. Like if you eat too many calories, more calories than you burn, you'll gain weight. If you eat less than you burn, you'll lose weight. It's as simple as it gets. Now there are things that make that affect that process. Like calories in, calories out is true. But the calories in can affect the calories out. So now, to avoid getting too complicated, like for me, I've done a lot of different diets, and I found that it's easier if I just keep it simple and track my calories and my protein. That's it. And I didn't always track my protein. I started out tracking calories. But I track my calories and I track my protein. That's it. That's as simple as that is, as I keep it. Now, that's for me. I recommend people, usually, they ask me, to try, and I tell them to count the calories, but if that's too hard for them and they don't like doing that, then try them all. Try all the different diets. What do you have to lose? You know what I mean? Like, try out that's how I got, like, I fell under the whole counting macros thing, like counting calories and protein. I fell into that after doing Weight Watchers, after doing carnivore, after doing keto. I tried all those, and I found that it's Weight Watchers was a good stepping stone for me because it taught me, one, that my original diet was really shitty. That's something that's another thing that's good about tracking your food. That's really what you should do. To start off, I usually tell everybody, just track what you eat now. Don't change anything. Just get an idea of what you eat now, but count everything. Count everything you eat. Because you'll be surprised how many calories you actually eat. Like when I did the math back in the day, when I was 260 pounds of fat, when I was round, I was eating 5,000 calories a day, 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day, without exercise. That's a lot. That's a whole lot for someone who's 5'8" and doesn't exercise. Um, and then once I learned that, they say ignorance is bliss. Well, once you're not ignorant anymore, it's no more bliss. Every time I was eating like crap, I knew it. Every time that I was eating something I shouldn't be, I knew it. I knew what I was doing. Well, then it made it easier to make changes because I was accountable to myself, So I really had no plan for this video. It was just going to be a diet, another car rant about diet. But for me, there's not much to talk about unless you guys give me actual suggestions. Like I always forget to say this. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and it helps out a lot. If you're not new, you're watching this, and and you've heard me talk about diet a little bit, and you've heard me talk about lift. Obviously, you've seen me working out, but you've heard me talk about diet a little bit. And you have any questions, just say them in the comments. Just say something. I'll answer. I'll give my best answer. Or I'll make if it's something real, if it's something video worthy, I'll make a video answering just that. But what I do, I eat mostly rice and meat. That's most of what my calories come from is rice and meat. Very bodybuilder type diet. But that's also out of ease. That's because it's easy. I'm a creature of habit, but the habit's got to be easy to do. So like at lunch every day, ground beef and rice with cheese mixed in there, low fat cheese. Dinner every day, ground beef or chicken and rice with low fat cheese mixed in there and some bacon. Not a lot of bacon. Some bacon chopped up, and that's it. That's not it. That's not all I eat in a day. But that's like my main 2 meals of like a decent amount of protein and carbs. Now the other stuff I'll eat, I'll throw in fruit. I'll throw in just random snacks too. That's something else. Is it's like you don't got to get. My kids' fruit roll-ups are 50 calories a piece. If I need something sweet, I'm grabbing a fruit roll-up. So if it gets me through the day, gets me through the night. Like I'm not the most health conscious person. For me, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Keeping my calories below a certain number and my protein above a certain number. That's it. Now, not everybody's going to have the same goals that I have. My goals are strictly maintaining protein intake and maintaining my calorie intake, whatever that's supposed to be, up or down. That's my only goal. That's it. Now, if you're more health conscious, more health, like focused on the micronutrients and all that kind of stuff and fiber intake and all that, well then, yeah, you're going to have to pay attention to the vegetable intake and the fruit intake and the vitamin. I mean, I take multivitamins, but like, you have to pay attention to all that stuff. I'm worried about the protein, number one, and I do kind of look at my fats, like keeping them relatively low, but besides that, the carbs are just what they are. Like if I'm eating 190 grams of protein, which I am, and I want to keep the fats relatively low, under 60, 70 grams, in that range, like which I will play with that number too. But the number I play with the most is the carbs, because if I want to keep my calories below 2,500, then that's the number I got to play with. So I don't know. Basically, the point of this was don't overcomplicate it. You see a lot of people online with clickbaity diet stuff and wanting to get people all riled up, or it's just they think or they become part of a camp, like the whole like insulin, like got to keep low insulin, like your insulin low, so do keto or low carb or whatever. Like, dude, here's the thing. If you try it and you like it and it works for you, cool, do it. Do you have to do that? No. Same thing with carnivore. Like, it might not be the healthiest long-term thing, but I don't know. Who am I? I'm not a doctor. It doesn't say MD anywhere around my name. So, carnivore, like, if that's what makes you feel the most full for the longest and feel the best, and you drop weight, drop fat, cool, do that. If Weight Watchers is good for you, do that. Atkins, do that. Just low carb but not keto, do that. Like, I do whatever works for you, man. I know that counting calories and tracking protein was the most successful for me, because protein, like, I have to make sure I eat enough protein with how I lift and how I exercise, but it also keeps you full longer. point of this was just don't complicate it. Don't analyze it, utilize it. Try different diets, see what works for you. The name of the game is eat less than you use, and you'll drop weight. So, however you choose to do that is up to you, and don't let anybody tell you you're doing it wrong if you're getting results. If you think you're eating in a deficit or whatever, and you're not losing weight, then you're not. So then, you got to look at what you're doing. But if you're losing weight, don't let anybody say you're doing, what you're doing is wrong. Because it's the most, if you are unhealthily obese, I don't care what you're eating to lose the weight. Losing weight is the healthiest thing you can do. I don't care if you're eating Reese's Cups 24/7. It'll be hard to do, but if that's what you do and you start losing weight, you can fix your diet later. But you will have to fix your diet later. But for now, you're losing, being fat's definitely not healthy. So losing weight's probably the healthier move. That's an exaggeration, of course. Don't eat just Reese's Cups. It'll be really hard to stick to that. But you get the point of my thing. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate it. And, I did I personally think diet's the hardest part of getting in shape. For me personally. For me, is the hardest part, is following a diet. Especially if you work, if you have a very busy schedule and you work all the time, like me. Like yesterday, I spent probably a couple hours of my time just prepping food for the week. Cooking the chicken ahead of time, cooking the ground beef ahead of time, breaking up the ground beef and rice into 5 different meals for the Monday to Friday, and then, keeping track of it. Because it's not like, when I say it, it's not like just cooking ground beef, cooking some rice, throwing it together. No, you measure the ground beef, you measure the rice, you measure the cheese, you mix it all together, you separate it out into equal portions, it's not, I'm not saying that might not be for you. You might not like doing that. So find a different way to do it. Try what works for you. I get that it's hard. It was very, very hard for me. I got to the point where I looked in the mirror and I hated what I saw. That's the only thing that gave me the motivation to make a change. And it's been an up and down roller coaster. But you can do it. Anybody can do it. But barring some rare genetic anomaly that I don't know about, I'm just assuming that one probably exists where it makes it hard to lose weight. Most people aren't that. So if you're watching this, chances are you can lose weight. It might be harder for some people than others, but it can be done. You can do it. Definitely can do it. So, like I said, if you have if you're just watching this, please like and subscribe. And if you're already liked and subscribed and you're watching this and you have questions or just whatever, if you guys have questions, things you want me to talk about, I know a lot more about diet than I'm saying, because I don't want to. This is a video about not overcomplicating it. It can get very complicated. It can get complicated when you get into the fucking macros and how they work and why one's better. You eat more one than the other, and then all that. I know all that stuff. I just choose not to talk about it because it doesn't really. The person who's trying to lose weight doesn't matter that much. I'm a nerd when it comes to lifting and diet and all that kind of stuff. But I think at the end of the day, most of it doesn't matter. It's just interesting. It doesn't matter if you're really sticking to the diet. My real, I want to lose weight, eat less. That's my real. Eat less or move more. Those are your 2 options. So, however, whatever you got to do to make that happen is what you got to do. But anyway, if you want to comment, if you have more direct questions, or you want me to talk like about what I understand, again, not a doctor, not a scientist, if you want me to talk about what I understand of different things of dieting, I will. I got no problem with it. I'll talk about whatever you guys want me to talk about. Just keep watching and keep subscribing and keep liking the video. I'll talk about whatever. I don't care. All right. I'm just messing around now. That's my on the way home diet rant. Tomorrow's Tuesday. It's going to be back day. Yeah, it'll be an awesome back workout. So I enjoy your night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.